Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to tonight's LRC Realistic Performance Championship race in Portugal. It's round number 2 for this short series before we head into the new game. My name is Herman26. I'm today's commentator, and with me today is Ixer. Welcome, my friend. I hope you're ready for this evening's Grand Prix, for this exciting and very challenging track. How are you?
Hello, good morning to you guys watching on the TVs, phones, or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm definitely prepared for some carnage in turn one.
That's good.
I mean, hopefully not, but it's inevitable in Portugal. I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, I would say so myself, especially since I've already raced a couple of times as well. I'm not so sure if I'm getting sound here. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely am. It's just quiet. We will see about that. Okay, so since there was no stream of the race we had in Japan for the first time in this championship,
Was there not?
no, there was unfortunately not. So I'd
Ah,
like to recap that with you at the moment, or for the moment. So we got the result that is shown on screen right now. Wimbo took the win at the end there. He was also the guy who finished and crossed the line first, as perhaps was second. And after some penalties, Elias moved up into third, taking the podium spot away from Slinks. And then we had a couple of guys who also got penalties or penalties removed. A penalty, for example, was given to Blazer, who moved outside of the top 10. And we got Soxon and Phil moving up in the standings as well. Kateshi got his 7th place reinstated after a penalty was removed following a collision with Blazer and Loris. And then we have obviously the championship up. As you can see, Bimbo is of course leading the way after he took that win. And we only got 4 races to come, including this one. So every race is going to count. And since it's a realistic championship, you want to make the best out of it, as we have the constructors also available for you tonight. AlphaTauri leads the way with 40 points, and as you can see, and it's a very nice fact indeed, no Ferrari power team could score any points in the race last time. So I'm really hoping, since I'm an Alfa Romeo supporter myself, that they will change that for tonight, and we will shortly see how many people and who is racing for what team tonight. There's a very close fight after AlphaTauri with Mercedes 18 points, Williams 16, both 10 for Alpine and Aston Martin, and we got Red Bull with 2 as well as McLaren is 6. And we will look into the session right now as it's a full.
let's just take a second to appreciate AlphaTauri with with by far the worst car on the grid being first in the constructor standings. That's
That is
just
true. That
insane,
is true.
insane result for them. I mean, Bimpo is. I mean, no offense to other but he is in just another league when it comes to pace, when it comes to raw pace. I remember back in Mexico, one of the last races of the season. I mean, not wait, that was Nations League. Never mind, that was in Nations League. Bimpo got the pole position by 5 tenths, so he definitely is a really fast driver.
That's very good that you put that inside to me as well. So we are looking to see if AlphaTauri can continue this just starting upwards trend, as Penny is already on a flyer as of right now, up to turn 8 and down the crest into turn 9, and the ever so challenging uphill turn 10. We got a lot of things to talk about the track. Purpose built in '08 and was, as we all remember, raced for Formula One for the first time in 2020. And as we close out the lap here with the Mercedes, it is a very challenging, very difficult, high elevation changes, a lot of changes as well in terms of where to see the corner, the apex, whatever. And he puts it in for the first time with a 17.7 there. This is the benchmark everyone has to beat. And obviously, this track is gonna be very heavy in terms of track limits. Already, the first 2 turns are very hard to get right. And I just realized, I don't know if you haven't, Phil Malone is already out of the session, so he is probably gonna start in P18, and that's
I think he might
quite
have had a quali ban, you know.
okay. Okay, I wasn't aware of
But
that.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna check actually.
Okay, we will check on that for you guys. But as of right now, if no one improves, um, then he's probably gonna be in P18, as we have these drivers available for you tonight. And as you already stated, the Avatar team very strong, and we have a time with the mediums for Elias, who's only 2/10 of the Mercedes, who's just in P1 at the moment. So I'm trying to pick the Alpine of Loris has an invalid lap time. So the next guy to cross the line is Soxon, who's currently P15 out on a soft tire. As Slinks already set a time, perhaps Coolest and Lillen. These are the 6 drivers to be on the board right now, and Soxon is now the 7th, and he is into P6 with 1 minute 18.9. And the next guy is a Red Bull.
Leland 1X. He was, I believe, the first driver on the track. Obviously, Leland is not doing that well in LRC recently, although he managed to. Although he had a few chances, for example, in Mexico in Nations League, where he was for a while in a good position at the start. But yeah, he just can't get it right, can he? He now posted a 19.5. He may have had a bit of a trouble on his first lap, so his second lap, well, is definitely compromised, or sorry, was compromised by the lack of ERS, as Slinks goes fourth, I believe. Yes, Slinks goes fourth. No,
Yeah,
Slinks was coming in the pit. Sorry,
yeah.
someone else went. Julie Cesar.
Yeah,
Yeah, Julie Cesar
Cesar
went
jumped into
second.
second and is very close to that.
To that elusive,
Division.
sweet pole position.
As you say, Dani is out on a lap, but he invalidated that earlier. But he seems to be trying for another one. So let's go on board with the Ass Driver and see if he can take us around the tour for the Algarve International Circuit into turn 1, 6 gear. That's very fast and not really a heavy braking zone. That comes here at the end of this section with turn 3 up the hill. Very tricky on the acceleration, and then the first DRS zone hits into the corner, and then we have a very tight and sweet braking spot you have to be very cautious about, since the running wide on the exit is not recommended at all. And then we have this fast 7th turn into the 8th that is tricky as well on the acceleration, the rotation, and on the outside you can also make it invalid. Down the hill and upwards the crest into turn 10, which is very blind, and also on the outside very tricky for invalidating your lap time or getting warnings late on the race. And then we have this turn of turn 12 probably, that is very easy to get wrong as well on the outside, and even maybe if you're crazy enough to launch an attack on the inside. And then you have to get it all right for the ever so beautiful illustrating last turn and run towards the line, where the DRS is very close to the line as well. And Dani goes into P5 with an 18.2, taking around a lap of the Algarve International Circuit. Very nicely done, but I think there's still time on the board.
Shave. Goes third. That was unexpected. Trimmer
Next.
Shave obviously not being in top 3 ever often, but now posting a 17.8, which is only 1/10 of pole position. I I'm not sure, but it might be the lap of his life.
Okay. You can see Loris is starting a lap now, and we got Bimpo as well. And both McLarens are closely behind.
Oh, Blazer comeback. Damn.
Kateshi is the first one to finish the lap from the walking squad. He puts it into P2 as Blaze across the line. P1! Very good
Oh,
effort
Blaze.
from the McLaren team.
Yeah, great effort. P1 and P3. Nice lap from Blazer. And the gaps are not that big in the top 5. Only Well, 3 tenths separating P5 and P1,
That is
which is
correct.
not that large. And let's remember that quite a bit of drivers are still yet to set their laps. For example, Loris, Bimpo, Arrow, who just joined, by the way,
Yeah.
Bull Diver, and Tim Blythe. So yeah, it might still change, and we well, let's. It might be worth looking at definitely Bimpo, Loris, Arrow, and Tim Blythe. I don't know about Bull Diver, but those guys definitely have a chance to cook something good.
Loris is going to finish his first lap now with around 8 minutes to go. And he puts it into first now.
Nice one from Loris.
And we
Just
get
not the
Bimpo
opening.
next. Let's see what he can do. He goes even faster, 17.3. That's even a tenth faster than the previously set time by Loris now. And we got a Mercedes next. That
If
seems to
if
be.
Bimpo's watching this, I have one thing to say to you. One thing to say to Bimpo. You are a goddamn alien, man. How did you do that? Goddamn AlphaTauri. That's
That,
an awful car, and yeah, oh my god, 17.3. That's an insane lap. I mean, let me remind you guys that it's realistic performance. So AlphaTauri is like realistically 1 second off Red Bull, I think. Yeah, 1 second
yeah.
off Red Bull, which
Diver
is
also put in a time that is best for P10 at the moment, as we watch Coolest improve his lap time maybe now. He's come around the penultimate lap
the
corner.
Chipotle car.
That is also. I think the worst track car for aerodynamic tracks is the Alfa Romeo. He's very poor. Can't
Coolest
improve
goes
on
over
his
the
time.
line. He doesn't improve, I think. Coolest
No, he
doesn't
didn't.
improve.
He didn't. He
Ah, yeah,
was.
he's just starting his lap. All right,
Yeah,
I
with
think.
20% ERS left, I don't think that's the best choice, as we have 6.5 minutes roughly remaining.
Maybe he's going in.
And
I don't
Soxon
know.
left the chat. Just gonna, since I his friend can. Oh,
Blue de
he's.
Chanel, Eau de Pas, and Zoxon. Yeah, they are not doing that great. They are,
And my game just crashed.
which is, oh man,
That
oh my
isn't.
dog.
That hasn't happened for a very long time.
Yeah, the Codemaster stability, the
Yeah,
greatest game of all time.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, if anyone rewatches this back, I'm pretty certain usually invites can work, but hey, there's a first time for everything, am I right?
Yep.
I have to see if I can join Phil. It's friends only. Is Soxon back in for you? Do you know that? No, he's in.
No, he's not. He's not. He's not. I believe.
Okay.
I didn't see at least. Yeah, no cars on track, so you're not missing a lot right now. Yeah, Zoxon just came back, by the way.
Okay, I'm just gonna join him then.
The Codemaster's Memento.
That is correct. By the way, I'm looking at my notes and I did see Blue Chanel racing before. Is he known under another name?
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I I don't know.
Okay, we will see
I'm
about
gonna
that.
check, but I'm not so sure. It might be Bablo. I mean, Bablo is French, as we all know. As we all know, Bablo's French, and that's a fact.
Did you, by the way, find out if there was a quali band for?
No, there wasn't. That's what I left. I asked Stewart, and he said there is not no penalties for him. So there might have been something happening with the game for him. God, we'll never know.
Okay, okay.
We'll ask him on the interviews.
Good call. Tim Blythe is also on the track right now. As you already stated, is very quiet, but he is one of the drivers who, actually the only one, apart from Phil, who can't improve on his lap time. The only one who hasn't set a time, and we're just watching him go through the last bits and bobs of the final sector of this beautiful racetrack. The Ferrari with the 96 is about to cross the line. He's just having to move through the last corner and go across the line. Let's see where he can put his car. He is P9 now. Very
Not a bad lap.
closely matched with his teammate.
Yeah, not a bad lap. Only 6 thousandths of a second difference between him and Timoshev, which is, well, pretty decent. Bimpo still topped the timing sheets.
That is
And
correct.
we didn't catch that, but Arrow went third while your game crashed
Yeah, that is true. We see now.
with a 17.5, which is also quite a miracle considering he's driving in a god awful Alfa Romeo.
Only performance-wise, no?
I'm sorry?
Only performance-wise, it's a very beautiful car.
No, I mean performance-wise, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's why I'm stating it.
Ah, right, yeah.
Pablo is also in a jet. And Sharky Bro says Loris likes caca. Okay. Aero is currently 2 tenths down on his personal best, and he has a very slidey moment out of turn 5, which is probably not going to help with his lap time.
By the way, Bablo, are you the Bleu de Chanel or the Pont? Because I mean, we all know that you're French, right? And that sounds like a French name.
Very much sounds like a French name. As said, it's the yellow flag for the second.
Oh, that's
I have-
Saul. All right. All right. Yeah, that's Mr. Saula, the Bleu de Chanel or the Pont. I don't know why, but I love saying that. It just I don't know why. Elias is on the lap. You can watch him.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Yeah, he is. Knowing Elias, he's definitely gonna cook something really insane. Elias, yes, I agree. I agree, Mr. LRCF1. I
Yeah.
wonder who this LRCF1 guy is. Like, I don't know who he is. Who he
British
might be.
Chanel moves up into third. He's 4,000 of a second now faster than Aero.
Oh man, good
Couldn't
lap
beat
by
it.
him.
Loris says he's.
Loris says he is Loris.
He's the LOC account. Okay. Let's watch the completion of this lap from Elias, who's currently in P12 now, as people have improved, including Bleu de Chanel.
People are improving quite significantly. Um, Pimpo feeling safe.
Oh, it's into second place for Elias. It's an AlphaTauri 1-2 at the moment. What a performance from these guys.
Well, I was just about to say that it might be something like P2 or maybe even P1 for Elias, but I mean, it's I have no words. They are just outperforming their car to the limit. Like, I don't know how are they doing that. Like, it's an insane lap. It's an insane. They did insane laps. Like, in an AlphaTauri, man, it's a car that is probably like 9 tenths slower per lap on paper. So that means that essentially they are 1.5 seconds faster than, for example, Red Bull of Julie Cesar
That
on
is
like
true.
raw pace, which is quite nuts.
That is true. The checkered flag is out now. We
Mr.
got
Jackson
most of the top guys completing their laps. They will not improve from their time now. And we also got to see that Slinks moved into the 17.7. And
Yep.
he's in P10 right now.
Kateshi is also on the lap, I think. Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
no,
he's
he's not.
still in it.
Alright. No,
There's
he's
an
on in lap.
abort.
He's slashing, so yeah, he's on in lap.
Tremor Shave stays in P12.
Yep.
Kateshi, as you said, is not completing a lap.
Coolest is already done with his lap. Pool diver is on the lap. Let's look at him.
I am on him right now.
Let's see what he'll be able to cook out of his AlphaTauri.
Over Mayo.
Sweet for the last corner.
And he aborts the
Actually, any
lap.
hits.
He aborts.
And
Oh,
he,
and he crashed into the wall.
yeah, he just yoinks it into the wall.
That's more than a
That was a,
yoink.
that's a beautiful sight.
That's a very big yeet, I would say.
Yeah, he yoinked, sploinked it into the wall.
Oh,
The,
very close on slings there. And Danny crossed the line? No, who was that? That was Coolest, okay. So,
Danny is still on the lap
yeah,
for
no, he
some reason.
hasn't validated it.
He's out of fuel, I think. Yeah, he's out. He might be out of fuel. No, he's not out of fuel.
No, he's
What?
just
What is it?
he's just taking an extra tour.
Yeah, he's an attention seeker. He wants to seek our attention. Let's switch out. Let's watch someone else.
Okay, then let's go to
Let's go. Oh yeah, let's watch Arrow. Let's watch Arrow say I. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking, obviously, with the attention thing. But yeah, he. But I
I
mean,
know.
it might be true.
I committed to the bit though. Yeah. As we concluded this now, we can look at the gaps until the Haas has crossed the line. And as you can see, inside 1 second, which is not that much, and especially in league racing, a lot of people are matched very closely. Obviously, the realistic performance setting will influence it a lot. But looking down from P1 to P16, that is quite impressive for this grid. And I hope to see that in the race as well. And we hopefully get a lot of racing.
Hopefully.
And it still remained Alpha Tauri 1-2, which we can see here
Which
as
is
well.
again quite insane.
Loris is into P3 with the Alpine. Then we got Sol, aka Bleu de Chanel ou de Pain, Aero. Then it's Blazer in 6, Penny in 7, Kadeshi in 8, followed by his Croatian mate of Kimi, if I remember as well. Like, that's his nickname I picked up from the Discord. Then Slinks in P10, perhaps, followed by Trimmer Shave and Tim Bloch. Ferrari is in the mud right now, but let's see what they can bring in the race.
All
Dani,
part of the
Kulis.
Ferrari master plan.
Oh, it only has been Q1, I just realized. I'm so used to people having short qualifying sessions. Okay, so we only
I
got
think it
4
is a
people
short
out.
qualifying session. Or
No,
is
it
it
is
not?
not. It is not. Because
Oh,
if
really?
yeah, they
Oh,
moved it
man.
to if they have 17 plus drivers, then it's full qualifying. I read. So I apologize for that. Then that's a lot of running. Then I have to say, I think people miscalculated that and will be short on tires because we saw a lot of running.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
We might have seen one of the biggest screw ups in quali right now. Not only me butchering it, but also the drivers using every fresh tire they have. And we
maybe they did, but who knows? Maybe they came prepared.
a lot of drivers did at least 2 laps. And I would say,
Yeah,
looking at the pace, I would say Bimpo and his teammate Elias, also Loris, obviously had the first invalid lap. But I think these guys with the pace, they probably only needed one. But they went out for these two. Let's see, let's see.
oh man. Yeah, the full quali is not what we usually see in RC, but
Yeah,
I
I was
believe it's
surprised as
compared.
well.
Yeah, me too. It's as we see McLaren overtaking someone that has in the pit lane exit, which is quite strange to see. Uh, um, yeah, it's a surprise for not only us but also for the drivers, as you said, as you mentioned. But it may benefit others. It may be a pain in the ass for different ones. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. Definitely, this the well, I think most of the grid did mess up and go for 2 runs in this in Q1, but yeah, we'll see how it rolls.
Yeah, so just to recap, Soxon is out, Phil is out, Coolest is out. No, Coolest is in, sorry. The other. Who was the other guy? Pool driver is
Danny,
out. Pool
Danny.
drivers. No, pool. Yeah, no, Danny is in, so then.
No, Danny is out.
No, he's a P1.
Yeah, he's out. But he didn't set any lap, so that's why he's P1.
No,
I
Phil
mean,
is out. Danny is in. That's why he's racing right now.
no, Danny is out.
No, you can see him. P1 at the moment, and he's on out lap.
Yeah, he is out.
Yeah, I mean out of the session in Q1, dude. I'm not talking on the track.
All right. Sorry. My bad.
Oh,
Wait,
good. The
is
second
someone
Red
out
Bull
there?
is also out.
Really?
Who was it again?
It doesn't say that on my screen. Like it says that they are still in the session.
No, I'm still recapping that because I wasn't fast enough to go down the screen because I was reading through everything, thinking that the qualifying was done now. That's what I'm thinking about.
Out? You mean like out of Q1, right?
Yeah, like
All right. Yeah.
eliminated. You
Yeah,
see?
my mistake. Yeah, my mistake. Sorry.
So who was it? Second Red Bull.
uh, Second Red Bull.
Who's
Was
missing?
it? Let's see. Yeah, I think you can check it. I'll check it in the race director. No, I actually won't because it's blocked.
No, it won't show.
I'll reverse the screen then. Wait, let me check.
Perhaps goes first with 18.4. I want to think about it myself, but I just don't remember now.
I'll check. Don't worry.
Good. Thank
It's
you.
Leland.
Yeah, thank you.
Lele.
That's the four
Lele.
guys as Penny goes into P1.
Yep, he smashes. Oh, by the way, that's the same lap as Bimpo posted
Yeah.
in Q1, which is
Oh, and he just beat that.
oh my god, yeah, he just beat the crap out of Adort Penny's lap. I mean, yeah, that's just another level of dominance from Bimpo. He is literally posting P1 lap times with the worst car on the grid, which is quite insane.
That is true. And Loris has again invalidated his first run, but he
Yeah.
kept the ERS offline and will go again as we have other people completing the lap. Dani is into P6, which is
Not a
the
great lap
last,
by him.
yeah, which is last driver from the times as of right now. Then we got the Mercedes who's coming into the pits at the end of the last corner. And Slinks is also in an out lap. There's someone is very wide there.
I'll be right back. I'll just go to the toilet real quick.
That was
I'm gonna
coolest.
come back soon.
That was interesting. Okay. The McLarens are probably peeling into the pits as well. Then we got the Aston Martin of Seoul, who is about to finish his lap. Let's see where he can put it for now. That's P4 with a 17.4. And there is Kimi into P7 now. He beats the time of Dani and is 3/10 ahead of him. And now there was Loris, 17.5. And then we got Trimashave, who's abandoning his lap. And there is an out lap. The rest is in lap or out lap. Nothing in between, no one on out lap. So let's go with Aero once again on a Penny my goat, he winning my goat, says Muchi Bear. Now let's see about that. P13 for the home favorite hero of Aero, who is from Portugal, and he is coming up to the second DRS zone here. Uses a lot of exit curve, which is good. Runs wide here for the entry of 5. Turns it in third gear. Little correction on the oversteer there. Through turn 6 and 7 into the turn 8 upward rise and down the hill into turn 9 and this blind upper crest into turn 10. Uses 4th gear for maximum traction. And that looks good so far, even with the shitbox. Aerodynamically speaking, regarding the Alfa Romeo, very tight apex here as well, very good. Runs wide on the exit and will come across the line very shortly to put in his first time of the session. It's a 17.6, and that's 4 thousandths of a second faster than Kateshi, and he beats a McLaren and is probably very likely to make it through, as we have another guy joining. And the other guy on the fast lap is Elias in the AlphaTauri. Let's see where he can put his car. And apparently there's a second sector new best time from him. Crossing to the line very shortly. As Aero briefly causes the yellow flag in the second sector because of going slow. AlphaTauri over the line. He goes into P8, 17.6. There's still a huge gap to P10. And after that, he is at risk to not make it through with 6.5 minutes remaining. There's only Tim Bleich on an outlap, and the rest seems to be just chilling in the pits or going back to them. And my prediction is that Tim Bleich actually thought about the 3 different qualifying sessions, since he was very late to go out and he only set 1 valid time at the end of Q1, and it was enough to go through and to keep Ferrari's hopes alive, since he had a very good opening stint in Japan, was inside the top 5 pack that was charging away quickly even on the harder compound of tires. And obviously in a Ferrari you want that extra downforce to be on your car for Japan or either Portugal, as it just runs wide and makes the already uninteresting lap time invalid. And the rest is also probably coming back into the pits. Drop off is currently 7 tenths between P10 and P11, which is quite a margin. And now we can see the preparation for the Ferrari to cross the line and start is first, and probably only lap time with 5 minutes roughly to go. Tim Gleich into the first braking zone, 6th gear for him. And he invalidates! He invalidated his lap time immediately after hitting or being over the line for turn 1. And he has to go again if he doesn't want to be eliminated in Q1 next to coolest. His teammate Trim Shave, Kimi, and perhaps, as we have an improvement for Aero, who's in the second run on the same tires, into P5 now, beating Loris in the Alpine. And we got several other drivers going out now for their some first attempt, other to improve their lap times. For example, perhaps Loris, Bleu de Chanel, Trimmer Shave, and Coolest. And we will switch. Also, Bimpo's out, which I find surprising. Bimpo domination could bore people. What happened to my co-caster? He's gone. Removed from the earth. Hello, Phil! Welcome. I hope you enjoyed your brief time in Q1. I'm bored. Yeah, I'm not. Luckily. Perhaps he's trying to get into Q3. Let's see if he has the time the pace to improve that. He is currently almost 2.5 tenths up in the first sector and has an AlphaTauri for traffic now, just before turn 7, but he gets out of the way. Hello again, Pablo. I don't. Oh, that was very, very close to the white lines there for perhaps. And he keeps. Who let Pablo in? And then some gibberish. Okay. Perhaps to finish off his lap now, let's see if this final lap from him, probably his final lap, can put him through into Q3. And it's enough for P10 for the moment, but it is very, very close. No, I wanted a Ferrari. Coolest, only P12 at the moment, 17.9. If he doesn't have a second lap in there, that's probably it. Trimmer Shave goes into P6. 1,000th of a second behind Aero. Very strong lap. Which, from my perspective, makes him safe. Me and myself. And Loris puts in the fastest lap of a 1 minute 17.065 to shove Bimpo off the top, as we see Kimi going into P13 with a 79.44. Bleu de Chanel also improved. Tim Bleish retired with a lap time of 1 minute 18.4 and also on the track. Both McLarens are going again. Slinks is also going. Then we got another Mercedes. No, that's the in lap. Then Dani is about to start his final lap. 50 seconds are left on the clock. And Coolest is into the pits. He will be staying in P14. As Elias will start his final lap, since he's at the brink of elimination. And he doesn't invalidate his lap time. What can he do to prevent being chopped down by Slings? He's a 10th fast at the moment. As Loris is into the pits. I would assume Soul is the same. Let's look at no Blazers invalid. Then let's go for Slings as the checkered flag is out now. Kimi, Coolest, and Peps are definitely out. Trimmer Face comeback. And Slings aborts the lap. So there's no Q3 for a Williams driver. Kateshi is also invalidated his lap. Last chance to the already qualified Elias to improve on his lap time. I have to leave the lobby in Q1 because I didn't have sound. And into P3. You're sure you had to? Usually going into the pause menu also helps. Or tabbing out. Just a recommendation for later in your career, Phil. Not to slander you. And there's a familiar name at the top 3. As we just have seen, Elias go into P3. And that's it for qualifying. Peps is out, Slings is out, as is Kimi, Coolest, and Tim Bleish, who didn't have the smoothest running as of yet. And there we have the qualifying result. Once again. Let's see what Q3 has installed for us. And if people have tires left for this. The last 12 minutes of tonight's qualifying session just started, and the first guy out into the open is Penny. But because of the later pit box, it's actually an AlphaTauri, and it's Bimpo. As of right now, the only two people who will be shortly joined by the McLaren of Blazer and the Ferrari of Trimmershave, who is also trundling down the pit lane. I would assume people will do 2 laps.
Hello, I'm back. I had a bit of an emergency. I had to attend. Let's call it like that.
You had to
Really,
attend. You had to attend what?
I had to attend an emergency in my house. I
Okay.
helped my sister with some technology stuff.
You mean she was stuck in the laundry machine?
Jesus Christ, you sick man! You are sick.
I'm pretty certain if you roll back the tape, you heard her scream, "Hey, step bro, I'm stuck."
Okay.
I think this is appropriate for the meme level this league has, as Bimbo is the first one to start his first lap in this qualifying 3 session. And I'm eager to see if people will beat their previous lap times, as we still suggest that they maybe run out of tires, as Bimbo just invalidated his lap time at the exit of 4 and will now move away from the racing line to let Penny through, who's the second guy on the first flyer as well.
I just looked at the results of the previous quali session and Loris P1. How did you do that?
I wasn't watching his lap, so I can't really tell you, but he was just, I think, improving from his previous time. That wasn't too shabby as well. As only Aero and Dani are the only guys left in the pits. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Tim Bleich is out in P15 regarding his qualifying and race performance in Japan. And Penny is the first, again, like in Q2, to cross the line, and he puts in a 16.9.
Not a bad lap.
And Blazer is just 37 thousandths of a second behind that. As Trimmershave is the next to finish his lap.
What can the Ferrari cook?
Hopefully not overcook his tires.
Yep, that would be pretty bad.
And he's across the line to finish his lap, and he goes P3, and he's 8 tenths off at the moment. But
That was not a great lap. from
No.
China. I think he went slower than he was in Q2.
I would suggest so as well. As Bleu de Chanel is across the line now, and he is next to Blazer, but only in the second row as of right now. And then we have the second AlphaTauri of Elias. Let's see if he can beat the benchmark. He can't. 17.3. And
But that was a
Loris,
pretty
and
crappy lap.
Loris is again invalid for his first attempt.
Jesus, Lord. Well, what are you doing, brother?
But he's going again now.
So he's going again. How much CRS does he have?
He started with 75 around that.
That's not gonna be enough. There's a lot of straights on this track. He's not gonna make it.
And a very little amount of slow corners, which is...
Yep.
If
Yeah, he ain't making it. That's for sure.
Kateshi is still on the outlap, as is Bimpo, who had to abort his lap to match his in-lap, as is probably Bleu de Chanel, and also Elias. So we just continue watching the Alpine of Loris into turn 8, upwards the hill, and now down into 9, and up again for turn 10. He brings the car in nicely, runs wide at the exit, but the game is not punishing him for that. So he can continue his run.
I think he'll just make it with the CRS. It's gonna be tight though.
Seems to...
He's gonna run out across the line about that.
Alpine.
He just made it. He just made it with 5% ERS.
And he is close to Penny. 12 thousandths of a second.
I mean, considering his lap was literally done on what, like two lap old set of tires and 70% of ERS. That's not a bad effort. That's not a bad effort at all. It's pretty reasonable lap.
Yes, I would say so.
The drivers are just massively cutting the corners, and I believe that's turn 5.
Yep, that is
a hairpin.
Yeah, Kateshi just went through that, and yes, as you can or could see from the map, Loris indeed cut it.
They are discovering the new racing line.
Do you know this guy? You joined before, Hashima?
No, I don't know this guy. I think he might be a random, but he won't be able to get a car though, I think, for the race.
He was in earlier, and as soon as, I think if you join before the end of Q3, you get a random car that is available.
I think there are 20 drivers, so...
No, in 19, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, damn it, that's bad. We might have to restart the lobby if he doesn't leave.
Yeah, we will think about that later. Kateshi is now crossing the line. Let's see where he can put himself into P6, 17.5, and let's see if the favorite of this event is gonna put it into P1. Yes, he does. 16.883 for the AlphaTauri of Bimpo on his first run. Maybe it's only even, since there's only 4 minutes remaining even. And we got Danny and Aero out now, which means to me that they only waited for now to get their last and only run out and do it in Alonso style, be not synchronized to the rest of the field. And let's go to the Alfa Romeo to watch his lap as the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds are upon us.
According to my thermodynamic analysis of the grid, I think we might see some tight fights for pole position. Like Bimpo, I mean, he might have some time. He might have enough time to come back to the pits and get another set of tires and do one more lap, but I'm not really sure if he can improve his lap. But Loris, let me remind you guys that Loris did his lap on pretty old set of tires and almost without ERS. So yeah, we definitely, if Loris doesn't mess up his lap, we might see a fight for that pole position, which we obviously hope that it will happen.
It is already close. Like, we can't say we don't have a fight
Yeah.
on our hands, but You are
But it
indeed
can be
correct.
closer.
That is correct. I'm just being told by Blazer, who's in the chat right now, that he is not a random, talking about Hiyashima. An invalidation for Aero! That is huge!
Oh yeah, that
It's...
is bad. That is just horrible news
Oh, and
for
he
him.
has no time to go back into pits and only has a half-empty battery. That is not good.
Yeah,
That
he's
is
trying
really
to
not good.
recharge as much as he can, but not really sure that if he can do anything with 50%.
That is true.
Yeah, he has to go for it. He has to go for it and brake extremely hard into the corners. Yeah, he left his ERS off and he will turn it on when he starts the lap. Yes, that's precisely what he did.
Yeah. Feel free to keep an eye on him as I'm watching the last sector of Dani, who just had to correct an oversteer moment. And the Haas, who's currently also alongside the Alfa Romeo without a time. Just aborts the lap, it seems. Yeah, he just slowed down. That was a very poor exit out of 15.
By the way, Arrow is on his another out lap. He's doing one more recharge lap.
Okay, that's good to know. Let's see if the rest is on laps. We got Trimmer Shave. Yeah, Trimmer Shave is the first of the last runners in this session to complete his lap. Trimmer Shave across the line. Can he improve from P8? Yes, he can. He's into P6 with a 17.2. Next up is the just starting Mercedes. So Saul in the Aston Martin, who has an invalid lap time, will not improve on his current time.
Blue Chanel de Pas. Just
Yeah, I'm
finishing his
not
lap, not
gonna do
improving.
that. Not gonna do that every lap.
Hmm.
That's too many words to do that every lap.
Yeah.
To say the
I
name
mean,
completely.
yeah, you can just call him Sola.
Yeah, we'll do that. Blazer is now across the line. He goes provisional pole with a 16.7. What a
Well,
lap from McLaren.
some might say that stars are blue, but this was definitely unexpected. I don't know what the hell I just said, but
Elias is into P3 at maximum. He puts a 16.9, and only Bimpo can put Blaze out of his pole position.
let's not forget about Loris. Loris is also on the lap.
Yeah.
And this time it's not invalid. So
Turmashev can't improve on his lap. Let's go to Penny then.
Arrow, where is Arrow? Where is Arrow? Yeah, Arrow is coming into the last sector. Let's see what he'll be able to cook. Loris is
The
also in the lap.
Mercedes is aborting his lap, so maximum P4 for Penny. And Loris is the next to cross the line. Where can he put his
Might be a pole
IP?
position. Might be a pole position.
No, he
Yes,
can't! He
that was
can't do it.
so
Arrow is
close.
into 7th. Kateshi's into 4th. What an effort from the McLaren driver. Bimpo
Oh,
is on his final turn of this lap. Can he take away pole position from Blazer? He is across the line. Can he
he's
do
out of
it?
VRS. He's out of VRS. And he
He
did it. He
can!
did it. He did it.
60.7!
He did it.
What an effort!
He did the thing.
He did
That
the
was
thing.
a massive,
Mom, get the
massive.
camera! He did the thing. What an
Bimpo did the
effort!
funny. Yeah, that was a great effort from Bimpo. But I'm just gonna say, look at those gaps. Only 2/10 separating the top four. Like, it's insane how close the gaps are on those I mean, considering we are literally on realistic performance, the gaps
Yes,
are insanely close. Like, it's nuts.
that is
The biggest
correct.
the biggest surprise for me personally is Elias being more commonly known as Almao, yes, being in P5, which is not a great position. Uh, some might say that he's washed, actually.
I wouldn't go that far as of right now, but yeah, it
Not my
is.
words, not my words.
Okay. So you're just quoting. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's you have to see, like, it's only, yeah, just little under 2/10 That is his gap to P1, and that is not too bad. McLaren has a good shout at a race win here maybe tonight, as his Blazer is second next to Bimpo in the first row. Loris is in P3, followed by Kateshi. Lamar, yes, as we stated before, is Elias. And then we have Penny, Saul, Aero in his own race, starting in P8. Trimmer Shave, the only real hope Ferrari has at the moment of points. And then Danny, who just couldn't complete a rear lap, starts in P10. And he is probably gonna bite himself a bit in the butt, since there was probably more on informed disqualifying session for him. Yeah, let's see. Blazer says, last race I had a P1 until Loris robbed me. Now Bimpo. In quali, yeah, that is unfortunate, I have to say. Okay. Is there a break now? Do you know if there's a break now between now and the race?
No, there's no break. I think we'll go straight to the race.
Okay.
That's what we always did, at least in the lightning racing competition lore.
Lore.
Yes.
That's great. Okay. Let's talk strategy before we see the grid. I think some odd people are trying to go for the medium soft. That is possible here. It's very hard on tires, I admit, but it is possible. I would assume it's most likely gonna involve the hard and the medium, which way the drivers will decide on their own. I could see the top guys running again the hards for the start, but we will soon find out, as the formation lap is underway. It is very split. We got 3 people on the soft, Kimi and Kulis next to each other in 13 and 14, but P1, and that is Bimbo, as we just found out, is on the soft tire to probably extend that gap or have some race pace in his god awful AlphaTauri. Obviously, only on performance. Then P2 to 6 is mediums. Then there's a split with Saul and Aero on the hards. Then 3 medium runner again. Then Slinks on the hards. Then the 2 mentioned soft runner. Tim Bleish is also on the hards. Then 2 more medium runners with Pooldive and Soxon. And the last 3 opted to go for the hards. And Hashima is also in the IP now, partnering Loris. And we have a full grid tonight.
Right, it's good to see 20 drivers lining up on the grid. We don't well we used to see that often when the game started, but now that people are getting bored, more and more bored and more bored by the issues that the F123 is giving them. Yeah, they are just simply waiting for the new one and not playing that much. So it's really it's nice to see 20 drivers at the end of the game life cycle. Um, Obviously, LRC is in LRC we have a lot of drivers. So yeah, there are people that race quite often, and that's good.
That is true. I think one of the biggest things to run in this championship, especially when you lower down the tiers in a league, is that the field is even out more and the fights are closer together. You don't get lapped by lap 20 maybe in a 50% race. You don't have the issue of seeing no one for the next 15 laps if you have an early issue. You can, if you have a better car, still keep some advantage to close down gaps as the drivers pull into the grid slots on this very different pit straight, which is split by 2 uphill/downward section. And I will just close them tires for now as we await the start. Last driver is into position now. Let's see what this race has upon us as we wait for the 5 red lights. Starting lights on, and we go to 5 red lights, and the race is underway. And we see someone is already pulling out in the back as Bimbo has a good run. Everyone is scrambling for position, and there's also a hit into Loris at the back, and everyone is running wide.
Arrows spun by Slinks, a massive collision at the back. Slinks, well,
5-second penalty as well.
yeah, that's a BS penalty because I literally saw Slinks smashing into Arrow.
Everyone is scrambling
So
for pace here as Kimi is into P8, just moving past Solos on the hard tires. Now they're racing down to turn 7 and 8. The Red Bull is ahead, so the Aston Martin has to slot in behind. It's very calm at the front, but the midfield is scrambling on for positions as we head down into the end of the second sector on lap 1, and there's a very close fight between Perhaps and Sol. He is losing out on the exit, so Coolest can gain on him, and he's going to the inside. Has the fresh and newer soft tire, but he's compromised on the way in, and he can't complete that run. So obviously Puldava is closing him on him as well, and everyone is drowning their ERS to get an advantage on the straight and maybe make a move, as we see Coolest now attempting that said thing as Penny just moves past Kateshi, who's tumbling down the order a bit into P6 now, as we have this very close fight on our hands into P1 at turn 1 with these 2, 3, 4 even drivers, and the Aston Martin also is catching up from Mr. Zoxon. Let's go back to the front here. Penny is trying to make a move on the inside of Elias there, but doesn't really work. As we watch from the rear wing of the AlphaTauri. I hope you can keep track with the midfield guys, because they're scrambling like crazy at the moment. As Bimpo has already set a lap time and a gap of 1.5 seconds, and there's a spin from Zoxon in the midfield. Did you see what happened there?
no, I did not see that. I was watching Arrow.
He's also in that fight with 4 guys.
Yeah, they are just fighting right now. Arrow and Zoxon. Arrow obviously has a bit of a pace advantage, but has that penalty that I believe he might get removed, because I really do not agree with the game's decision to penalize Arrow. Yeah.
And Danny
As Danny is our first penalty. I mean, it's technically second, but he has the first track limits penalty in the race. So
that is correct. Loris just moved past Blazer into turn 5. There was no real chance of a comeback or switchback for the McLaren driver, but he will be interested to keep close to the Alpine, as the gap is even stretched now to 2.2 seconds. And he is making good use of the soft tire, Bimpo that is. And everyone else is settling into gaps. Some people are already outside the DRS window, as is Danny in P13 at the moment. Let's see if there's an answer to from Blazer onto Loris into turn 1. As DRS is enabled, and the McLaren can use that extra slipstream and top speed to move alongside and past the Alpine. He's fully ahead at the time they turn in for turn 2 and turn 3 respectively. It's a very off-angle corner, not really a heavy braking zone. And the second DRS zone is also an opportunity to counter the attack that was previously done. And look who is really profiting from this battle, it is Elias who is loving the scrap from these two guys.
Yeah, Elias is slowly punching through the fields. Well, started for fifth, now up to fourth.
Yeah, he is also pulling with that DRS of these guys. But Penny isn't too far behind, and Kateshi and also Tremashev are keeping them company. Only Kimi on the fresh soft tires is forming the next group. That includes perhaps So Coolest and Pool Diver. Just at the end of the top 10 positions.
Blazer absolutely holding on to that P2 of his. Bimpo pulling very, very far away. But Blazer just has to do a defense of the marginal line to hold Loris, but I don't think he can maintain
Oh!
this defense as he gets
Elias is
overtaken by three
through!
cars and he almost smashes into Adort Penny, which almost sends him off the track. But Adort Penny somehow saved it, which is quite insane. Oh man, that was a crazy save and a very dangerous move from Blazer, trying to defend his position. Although to his well, to excuse him, there was a lot of mm, he had to pull back because he would have smashed into Almao if he didn't.
Yeah, that is true, but it was very tight there.
Yeah, it was. By the way, do you see the length of that train that started? The train is all the way down, down all the way down to 11th.
Yeah,
Like starting at Loris and ending at Pool Diver.
yeah, there's some little groups, some duos forming in between. And as soon as the soft tire is falling off, they will catch and overtake Kimi very soon. Maybe even an overtake opportunity on the main straight for perhaps now. He's pulling out of the slipstream and he is past the Red Bull and up into P8. Very nicely done with the
Almost
assistant.
like in 2020,
Yeah,
where Mercedes was actually fast.
that is correct. And there's an oversteer moment at the exit of 4 for Blazer. But there's no attempt for Penny as Phil gets a 3-second time penalty down in P17, which was very likely to be turn 1 looking at the track map and his position as of right now.
I mean, that doesn't really change a lot in this race, but still a shame that he did get that penalty.
That's correct. And look who is in P14, the guy who didn't do qualifying with us, Hashima,
Yeah,
and slings the second Williams with a time penalty, who's in P20, over a pit stop behind, and he really needs a safety car to save his race and some possible points to take away from this race here in Portugal. We're still on board with the second AlphaTauri of Elias, as Hashima just moved into P13 and is now in front of Dani on the, I would say, still slower hard tire. They're battling it out, and the Haas is through again, so that was maybe a bit too early regarding the timing of the overtake. Oh, and he smashes into the back! And Coolest is spun
ooh,
around! And Tim Leish
Lewis
is
is gone.
profiting from... No, they touch as well! There's some wheel bending and some cuddling going uphill turn 4 between the Alpine and the Ferrari. Into turn 5 now. On the outside is Tim Leish, but he can't make the move stick. That was...
That's a banging battle.
Yeah,
Touching, giving it everything.
that was also very uncool,
Close.
but too Coolest.
Oh, Gullit slides. Oh, he almost spins out of, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's
Oh, yeah. His tires are
stones.
gone. They are really hot. Look at how much he's sliding through those
I saw
corners.
that Aero's now on the outside of Phil. And you can see that the poor performing in terms of AO pace and package cars are at the back at the moment. As Penny moves past Blazer into P4. Very good effort from the Mercedes at the moment. And there's another battle going on into turn 1. Oh! That was huge! Over the curb. And there's a attempt from Saul on the inside. But he can't make it work, can't make it stick. Let's see if he wants to have another go at Kimi into turn 5. Not as of right now, but Kimi went really hard over the curb on the inside of turn 1 to defend his position. I have to correct myself. Obviously, it wasn't coolest against Hashima. It was Dani and Tim Bleich against Hashima. Sorry on that. And the train just keeps building. Only 2 seconds between 8th placed perhaps and 7th placed Trimmer Shave to have another driver inside that train. And I'm very intrigued to see when the drivers on the softs are pitting and if they select to do the one stop with the medium soft. And there was not enough room for Saul left to complete an overtake. Here's Tim Bleich and Hashima trade places into turn 1. And the Ferrari's ahead now. But there's a possibility to be on the counter attack now for the Alpine. Although the Haas is very close behind. And there are no changes to these 3 positions inside the field as Aero moves past Lillen and completes the, the overtake with ease and is up into P16, 3.5 seconds behind Dani.
Arrow making a slow but steady recovery after that, well, poor, really poor start where he got crashed out by Slinks, I believe. So yeah, he has to now push his way through.
That is correct. Oh, there's an attempt of an overtake again. We see that Saul is on the inside of the Red Bull. Gives him very little space, but that's hard racing. And he completes a D move at the start of the second DRS zone. Oh, and there's a attempt of a dive. He runs wide. And the Aston Martin stays ahead.
He does. That was a good battle. Good on Julie César. Really good fight from the pair of these guys. Well, let's hope that they will provide us with more entertainment.
Yeah, it was
With
very
even
close
more.
between these 3 at the moment.
Yep.
Into turn 5 as well. So I'm looking forward to more battles on track. As we just enter lap 11 and Penny moves past, no, is being passed by Elias again. So there was an attempt because Penny was previously before, and Coolest is the first to pull into the pits. Apart from Slinks who had a collision on lap 1. But that is the first guy to pit on lap at the end of lap 11. And he puts on a new set of tires. And that is the medium.
One of the first drivers to pit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the first apart from
Cool.
Slinks.
Yeah.
Yep. Only 2 guys with pit stop as of right now. There's an overtake attempt from Bleich. And there's Dani on the inside. He gets penalty for that. Oh, yeah, he was a bit over the inside line there. And Tim Bleich completes the overtake and tries to close down the gap now by which is currently 7 seconds. Dani has a run again, but he thinks better of it. And Tashima's left the session. Oh no!
Oh, that's a shame for the Alpine driver. He was well doing not bad after qualifying after not qualifying.
And Dani is now battling through the AI who's just about to get the DRS from him. And knowing the AI, it would probably use a lot of ERS to get by. But Dani is pulling into the pits. So just one lap later from his teammate who was on the soft tires, the second Haas is into the pits. And there's another... Oh, Doxon against Lennon. And they couldn't figure out which way they wanted to go. Perhaps, unfortunately, can't close the gap down to the front guys. And Loris has pulled away from Elias as there's another battle. And Loris gets a 3-second time penalty. That's huge! One of the
Yeah, that's
top
massive.
guys. And Dario has also cleared the AI of Hashima now. And the next guy, or the next two guys will probably be following shortly. And the soft tire seems to be dropping now. Let's see if he puts into the pit. No, not as of right now. And Penny is close to Elias, or should I say ahead of Elias. And now he has to get the first three turns correct to prevent an overtaking opportunity for the AlphaTauri into turn 5. As there's more battling going on because of the AI. Lennon has just passed it in the penultimate turn, and there's a dive to the inside, and Elias is ahead.
Elias just overtaking the Dart Penny there. Nice move from the AlphaTauri driver as he slowly recovers. After that, well, not so excellent quali. Well, that was a great quali but not so excellent when comparing him to his teammate Bimpo, who is well dominating quite easily this race, I would say. But
Yeah,
but Loris is still on him. He's not letting go of that 1.5 seconds, which is well surprising, but really good as well.
yeah, you have to keep in mind the tires, but I
Yep.
would say that was a bit rough for Penny, and he has to get on with it now. He was shortly under pressure from Blazer, but maybe looking to retake P3. He's on very low ERS. He's already blinking. And he's past the AlphaTauri again, who himself is on 25% of ERS. And Loris is close to being inside that DRS.
Yep, he is. Yeah, he is now in the DRS indeed. What happened to Bimpo? He is slowing down quite.
I think the
Yeah,
tires
he's on softs. Yeah, the tires are slowly, well, I
dying.
mean, yeah, dying out. I wanted to avoid that word, and yeah, they are quite old right now.
Kimio
Let's see
is
if
also
Loris.
pitted. Yeah, sorry, say again.
Let's see if Loris can get something good out of this situation.
I would recommend to Bimpo right now to pit now.
Yeah, he is right now losing a shitload of time by not pitting. As he does that now, I think he listened to me.
Yeah. And
He
he will
asked him.
probably rejoin the race in P12 or something. As there is Kateshi also into the pits. And there's a fight. Who was that? Who was that? There was a fight. These
Bimpo
guys.
pulled Katesh, no,
Blazer and
Blazer
Elias.
and Elias.
And
Yeah, they are.
Penny moved past Elias again.
Oh, Penny, oh, yeah, overtaking Elias, which is quite insane. But Penny is really low on ERS, and El Mao, yes, will use it as he goes round the outside of the hairpin of turn 5. He gets a good traction on the exit. He uses everything, every inch of the battery he has, but he fails to re-overtake Alert Penny. Wow, what a scrap for PE2.
They were so close to hitting each other in turn 8 there. Very tricky braking zone, and especially if you have reduced downforce on the car ahead, that is always going to be tough to get right. But they, with the class and pace they have, they completed it so far. As more people get past the AI of Hashima, who hasn't rejoined the racing yet. Let's see what the other guys will do. They saw how long Bimpo was out on these tires, and Loris is into the pits. Let's see what he gets, and everyone behind is also in the pits.
Oh, there is a
And
lot of people
Blazer
in the
gets a
pit.
5-second time penalty into the pit
Oh,
lane.
that's a tragedy for him, isn't it?
And hearts for Loris.
That's an interesting choice. I mean, there is still a long way to go in this race, but I think he will make it on the hards. But let's just give a round of applause to Bimpo for actually, well, we're doing 16 laps on softs and keeping that lead, which is, yeah, that's quite insane.
And he is probably onto his last tire in this race, if nothing crazy happens.
Yep.
And that is the medium, so he has an advantage. And he has undercut Loris by over 3 seconds, as Phil gets another 3-second time penalty. And Tim Blyage is trying to capitalize off the cold tires of Loris. And actually, Blazer somewhat jumped Elias a bit, I think. And Kateshi, who pitted earlier, is also close to them. So they somewhat kept this group of people behind the leaders. But it is Bimpo who is, if you discount this, the cars who still have to pit, is still your net race leader. And Aero is fighting for his life there. No, that is Aero. He's against Trimmer Shave, who has very, very fresh tires, and Bimpo puts in the new fastest lap. As Penny
Yep.
pits.
Oh yeah,
And
Alert
Aero
Penny.
pits as well. So he is done with these tires.
He is not happy with them. He was not happy with them. That's for sure.
And Penny lost out for sure. He's outside
Yeah.
of the DRS now. Trimmer Shave is even inside his, and he still hasn't warmed up the tires yet. So he waited a bit too long, and perhaps even wasn't in with him as well. So maybe Mercedes missed the point when to pit both cars. But I still can imagine perhaps staying out as long as possible to go onto the softs, which is also soon. Like maybe lap 19 to go onto the softs. As Penny is being pressured from Trimmer Shave. And Blazer, oh sorry, is pressuring Elias, who's running closely behind Bleish, who is on his starting tires.
As Blazer gets a move on Elias on the inside of the last corner, well, he has a chance for a move. He is on the inside.
Soxon
Oh,
3
it might be
seconds.
free wide for turn one. Turn one. I see a free wide incoming for turn one.
Yeah, Bleish is the only one
Right.
without DRS. And they both pass on.
And Bleish loses yet another place in that fight. Not
Saul is in now. This is also very late. Perhaps is in as well. And Aero, who just pitted as well, is back to P18. With quite a gap to close down. As the eye from Hashima just pits as well, as does Phil Malone, who is nowhere to be seen in this race. And we probably would like to forget this one, but the thing is, every race counts because it's only 3 to go after this one. As Pool Diver is currently your leader of this race. and is probably aiming to go to fresh soft tire. If he pits now, he would probably come out into P12 or something, if I remember the pit stop gap correctly. So that is still a task he has upon him, but he will have the freshest and most grippiest tire. And we have a yellow flag, and that's for Saul. No, that is not. That is for Soxonen. Yeah, he caused the yellow flag, so that's a spin. And Penny, move, Pash. Oh, they collide! Kateshi and Penny collide into turn 1. That's the
Massive crash.
thing. That's the thing with turn 1 in Portugal. You have to be
Yep.
absolutely sure you will complete the move into turn 1. Oh, they have both Ferraris off! And it's a
Oh
safety
no.
car! Both Ferraris have crashed into each other, it seems!
Massive disaster in the Ferrari garage.
Oh no!
There will be
And
some
that's a
fighting.
great opportunity for Pool Diver, who will be getting a free stop now. The race is on his head. Oh my word!
Oh my, yeah, it's crazy how the race turned for Pool Diver. He went essentially from 11th to 1st in a matter of seconds, which is kind of crazy. Well, he
He
is first.
started in P16.
He will obviously have to pit, but he will lose. I believe he will gain like, I don't know, 6 positions by this safety car.
He probably can stay in front because everyone else want to get fresh softs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh no,
Although,
he gets a drive-through penalty. No!
oh, he ruined it. He ruined it. He absolutely
How
ruined it.
can you
Pool
bottle this so
Diver.
hard? Who are you?
Yeah, he absolutely bottled it. How did he do that? He was in perfect position to get a ball, get a P1, and he ruined it.
He
Oh
just.
no!
Oh my word! He just went to. No. By the
I think
way,
he got too excited.
I think Tim. Sorry.
He got too excited.
Tim Bleich was on his 18 lap old hard tires at the stage where the collision happened, and I think he might probably, because of a lack of traction, caused a collision there with trimmer shave. We don't know. We have to ask them.
We'll
But
never
oh
know.
my word, what has just happened? And do you see that? Apart from Pool Diver and Bimpo, everyone is onto a fresh soft set of mediums. No one is trusting the soft, although the first driver who started on pole has put them on and put a significant gap to them
Hold on a second. How is coolest B2?
because he did pit. Didn't.
That makes sense. But why did he not pit?
I have
That's a
no
bit of
idea.
a.
That's a typical hair
That's
strategy. Oh, that's close here.
Jesus.
You know from the beginning, my friend, none of the Ferrari powered cars have scored any points, and they seem to like a challenge to reproduce that for this race.
Yeah, they are
Don't
definitely
do.
they are definitely reproducing that. That's a terrible uh, turn of events for Ferrari. And by terrible, I mean it. Like, it's really bad.
Some heads will be chopped off. Who
But yeah.
in the chat says
Oh,
this is an unfair drive-through? Maybe you should concentrate on on racing and
oh
not
my
chatting.
god.
This is one of the Ferrari moment. Queer Boner, by the way. Yeah, welcome to the chat. I unfortunately don't know your name. I'm not part of this league. Coolest just pits. Why? Why now?
That's a stupid strategy decision. Sorry to say that, Coolest,
Yeah,
but it
you
is.
can be brutally honest, because I would just echo this and say that's a shit strategy. Why?
That's a very bad. I mean, he stayed out. He should have stick to the strategy, and now he's down to 16th.
But he is one of the guys on the softs.
I mean, he is, but his tires are gonna be long gone at the end.
Yeah, and he has to make so many moves. Which
Yep,
is probably gonna be
not so excellent for him.
no. If there wasn't this huge loss of time for Tim Bleich, you can, and I say this with very high caution to not get framed here for this, but you could say this safety car helped his race because he was with pool driver himself on a set of tires that still needed to be chopped off in the pits, get a whatever tire he wanted on his car, and then continue his race. But he probably would have continued it in a very low position. He's in 15 right now, but everyone else around him is close. He's close to them. As the safety car
Yeah, safety car will
is
be coming
in.
in at the end of this lap. So let's get prepared for some crazy restart.
Yeah, I would assume that there's a high chance of pool diver pulling into the pit or Bimpo overtaking him, and then let's see how good Loris can, yeah, stay close to him as we watch from the rear wing of the Alfa Romeos, closely followed by AlphaTauri Alpine and then another AlphaTauri. And he goes late, very late.
Yeah, that's a very late restart. As Coolest gets a really good restart on the back, I can say, because I was watching him. Slinks overtakes full
Oh,
alone.
Loris into the first turn. Oh, he bangs weirds with Bimpo. And there's a penalty for Penny.
Yeah, that's a penalty for Penny.
Oh, on
Oh,
Loris.
there's a oh, that was a
Close.
close fight between Bimpo and Loris.
Another yellow flag.
Yeah, second one yellow flag. Perhaps is out, and Danny is
Virtual
out.
safety car. Virtual
Virtual
safety car. The
safety,
race
yeah.
has just been freezed again. And Loris was ahead of Bimpo. He has to give their position back. So another collision with Trimmer Shave.
On
Who
Pool Diver's
is...
place, on Pool Diver's place, I would just stay out and just block the field as much as I can from if I was on his place.
And
I
Danny
mean,
needs to pit again. No wing. Yeah,
and then yeah,
that is a fair point.
this race have been turned well upside down and over again right now.
It's
Quite a bit.
just a roller coaster, like the track itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
We got the one of the top 5 boomer moments, you could say, in this race. Also ticked.
Oh yes.
They are racing at quite a good pace. I would assume that the Delta is soon to be released from them.
Yep. That's the
And it's gone. We're under
Yeah,
green flags again.
just as Trimmer Safe comes into pits.
Yeah, and there's been a pass from Bleich on Aero and Slings. There's already a gap forming. Phil is holding them up. As Loris is... Oh! But that's the light! No way!
Oh,
No way!
no.
Elias is into Bimpo! And the
Oh,
chances
no.
of a double!
The win are gone. The double
Oh my
podium
word!
are pretty much gone.
Oh my
We are
word!
down to P13 and P18. That's a crazy turn of events. This race has been rolled over so many times now, but it has been rolled over yet again with a collision between the constructors leaders and the race leaders, which is quite nuts.
And Loris is gonna lick his fingers from that, but Blazer's actually in a
Yeah.
better position if he can stick with Loris. Because he
Let's
has
see.
removed his 5-second time penalty from speeding the pits because there was a safety car now. And he pitted already before that. But he's on very low years already. Below 20%.
He's trying his everything to stick with Loris, but
Oh,
it's gonna be hard for him.
Aero! That's a free wide into turn 1.
Oh my god, how did they survive that? But by the way, that's when Pool Divers comes in really handy, because he'll be able to block Loris for some time, and that way Blazer can
And Danny's retired!
close to Loris. Oh yeah, Danny's retired. Danny's out of the race.
But he's far off
this
the
race-
racing line. There's no safety car, I would assume. Yeah,
There
there's
was,
no.
This race hadn't been going well for Danny after that collision not long ago. Yeah, not didn't go too great this race.
You have to look at this race and think that McLaren has the best opportunity to have a double podium finish now. Both of
Yeah,
them
they
don't
do.
have a penalty right now. They're in third and P5, third and fifth. Jesus Christ, I'm lost for words already. And in the chat, also the notification: Pelias finished.
Yeah, he's so washed, bro.
Pool diver puts in the fast lap, and he has to come into the pit lane to serve
The
his drive rip in the
problem
pit.
the problem with McLarens is that they don't have pace. They have positions, they have good strategy, but they don't have pace. We see Blazers slowly. I mean, now Loris is being a little bit blocked by Pool Diver, but once Loris gets released, I don't think Blazer will be able to keep the gap to Loris. Well, but we'll see.
Tremache
As
puts in the
Streamer says it's the fastest lap of the race on P19. Well, he has nothing to lose, so uh, he boxed. As Pool Diver just mm, blocks Loris quite significantly, and that makes Blazer gain a lot of time on him, which is obviously great for McLaren's race, but not really good for Loris.
And you have to say, one of the top guys right now is Kimi. He's doing a fantastic race. They had a really poor start to this short championship, and they didn't have any pace. They were long and miles away until the safety car came
Pool
in the
Diver
middle of the
pits,
race. Yeah,
Pool Diver pits, and Blazer opens his DRS. Will he be able to make a move on Loris?
no,
Make
no.
amends? No, he won't, because Loris had DRS from Pool Diver. If he can stick for one more lap behind Loris's DRS, he might be able to get a move on, but move in. But oh, it's gonna be tough between Loris and Blazer.
Yeah. Tim
It's gonna be
Bleich
really.
also overtook Kudus right now. I want to add to the point you were making about the McLarens. You have to keep in mind there are only a few laps left. Yes, the gap to Penny is also and already very big, but still, the penalties as of right now still play into the McLarens. If Kateshi, and it seems like he can keep up with the pace, and he is so far foolproof, then he will take the third step away from the Mercedes and put himself on the podium. So the time right now is for them, and two more people get a penalty. One of them is Areo, and the other one is Sol, who are convincingly both behind each other at the moment in 6 and 7. And Bleich is closing in.
Look at Blazer. They'll be fight on the main straight
Yeah, I will do
between
that
Blazer
now.
and Loris. Um, as Blazer opens the DRS, gains on Loris, gains, but not gains enough. Loris has some mental top speed, or he has just more ERS. Yeah, Blazer has on 19% only, while Loris has 21. He probably deployed most of it on the straight. As Slinks retired,
In the
what
pits.
happened to Slinks?
He is
Yeah, in the
done for the
pits, you're
day.
right. Right, yeah, he is. He just
Elias just moved past perhaps. That's another
slow
extra
recovery.
point. You have to say Bimbo is still in the mud a bit. He's in P15, can't get past these guys. And also one thing you have to keep in mind for Blazer, the penalty from Loris is just and probably will make him go for the strategy to just stay behind, stay in the DRS, keeping close to that Alpine, and then wait out for the finish to come and
The
not
thing
risk
is that
it.
he doesn't know if the penalty is real or not. Like because Loris can if the penalty was unfair, he can
Yeah, that's
report
true.
it. And on his place, I would honestly pass Loris with
Yeah,
every
to make sure. Yeah, that's true. That's
yeah
true.
to make sure.
Let's see if he
Let's see
wants
if
to do that
Blazer's
now.
trying. Yeah, he's lifting the throttle. He doesn't want to get past Loris.
Okay.
Yeah, he's lifting the throttle on the straight, which is not illegal, but is a very sketchy strategy. And he doesn't want to get past Loris, which is interesting. That's a odd strategy, but we'll see.
Perhaps
Will he go
just
for it now, maybe?
Hmm.
No, he won't.
Perhaps
Sorry?
just re-past Elias, and Bimpo can't get past Lilin, although he's on the better tires.
Leland dominance.
No. And Elias is past him again. No, and there's a switchback. And the Mercedes is ahead. Is there a chance for Bimpo? No, there's not. So I would say this throws a huge spanner into the works. McLaren is currently the best looking team, as Phil just has an oversteer moment, and Bimpo and Leland profit from that. Phil goes to the inside, but can't make the move stick, and stays in P15. Yeah, you're just keeping an eye on Blazer, because I think he will continue with that strategy you just described to us. So I will. Oh, there's a spin!
Yeah,
Leland
there's a
is
spinner. Leland
maybe
is out.
tapped a bit by Bimpo. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. And now there might be a chance for Phil to pass the Avatar. There's a 10-second time penalty for Leland that is truly undeserved. And Phil passes Bimbo, who just has a horrible race since the collision with his teammate, who just ran into the back. Leonard decides to retire from the race. He is done as well. That's P18 from him. And there's an inside move from Bimbo and Phil, who's already running alone ERS. But he's determined to stick with the AlphaTauri.
Looking at the fight between Loris and Blazer, they are both really safe on their ERS. They are not, uh, they are not. They are very conservative on their ERS. But the fact that Loris is backing up Blazer a little bit, is making Adored Penny gain ever so slight amounts of time on both of them, which may result in a position gain uh, for him if he handles everything correctly. Just out of curious. All right. So Loris has 3 seconds, and Adored Penny also has 3 seconds. So that's all right.
Saul just passed Kimi into turn 1, but he still has a penalty. And
Really
Tim
great
Bleich
effort
is on
by
the back
Paul.
of them, so he is going for a top 5 finish after that horrible
Great
collision with his
recovery.
teammate. Yes.
Great recovery. And also a great race from Sol, aka Blue de Chanel de Paul. Blue de Chanel of the Paul. Yeah, he is, well, we definitely didn't expect him to be in P5. Although there is a problem because he has a 3 second penalty, but we'll see how he can handle that if he can pull on maybe a gap on Luigi Cesar. Actually, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I definitely did, but it is what it is. Um, Arrow, after starting after that crash on lap 1 in P8, fighting with Pelias or Pelmao, yeah, they're Elmao having definitely a better pace than Elias right now. Elmao, yeah, I am.
And
What
Bimbo
am I
moves
saying?
past Soxon into P12.
Yep, slowly climbing back up.
He is unfortunately running out of laps, as we just entered the 31st of 33 laps in this race, and there's a very close fight with Aero and the guys behind, including Pelias, as you just mentioned, and perhaps as well. I'm just gonna keep that with what you. Oh, oversteer for Aero. That isn't good.
Let's see if Blazer will pass Loris on this lap. Let's see if he will. Does he want to pass him or does he not want to pass him? We'll see very soon as they approach the main straight. Out of the last corner, onto the main straight. Blazer opens his DRS. Is he close enough? Yeah, he is close enough, but he doesn't want to pass him, which is, well,
Watch him next lap. Watch him on the last lap. I think he would.
yeah,
And Kimi
that,
is past Soul again. Sorry.
yeah. Well, just checking up quickly. Checking up on Kateshi's gap to Loris. It's 4.2 seconds. If Blazer can somehow get into a fight with Loris, we may just be able to see a McLaren 1-2 forming in this race. Because the gap is 4 seconds right now. And Loris has a 3 second. Kateshi has none.
No.
So if they start fighting, we just may be able to see an a McLaren 1-2, which, well, definitely was unexpected.
That is true, but I think for that Blazer should have started fighting Loris earlier. Let's see. They're outside.
He's opening the ERS. He's going for it now,
He
definitely.
is probably going
He's
for it. We are
deploying.
watching it on the mains right now. It's probably last and best overtaking opportunity.
Loris is out of ERS.
But he's in to the outside and he's in front of the Alpine and he takes the race
Yep.
lead on the last lap as we have more scraps going on down the field. But
Oh, Loris almost loses it.
we just stay with the top guys right now. Let's
Can
see.
Blazer back up Loris so that Kateshi can get close to him?
They even extended the gap now to 4 seconds. As P5 to P10 are still within a second of each other, and there's a fight going on with Tim Bleich taking the position away from Kimi, and he's into P5 right now. And there's a side-by-side battle going on as well here. And there's an arrow on the inside of Kimi as well. And he's out of ERS, but we will switch to the first guys who just entered the last sector. The last time they will drive through the penultimate and the ever so lasting last turn of this 33 lap old race. Blazer with no penalty has
You'll
come
get it.
to defeat Loris. He will cross the line in first position to take win in Portugal. And Loris is into second. Penny will fight with Kateshi, but because of the penalty, he takes that third place away from him. Bleich into P5, what a good recovery. Then it's Aero down because of the penalty, so Elias recovers to P6. Great race from Kimi, who's P7, perhaps into 8. And then we got also penalty prone. Soul into P10, then Coolest, Bimpo, pool diver, then Phil Malone just decides to call it a day, and Soxon is into
Yeah.
P14 at the end. Hashima couldn't rejoin his P16, and Trimashev, who had a collision with his teammate, down in 17th, the last of the running cars, will move up to 16th because Phil retired before the the finish straight line.
Yeah.
I'm out of words
Good
now,
line.
sorry. What a race, what a race. So we have drivers interviews as well, right? And a straw poll. Okay, we will go to a short intermission and then we will be back with you guys.
Hang on. We have our streamer unmuting the stream.
Yes, now we can go.
All right. Hello, Blazer. Herman was supposed to do that.
Yeah,
That
it's fine.
also
If you
worked.
want to, go ahead. I can do
All
the
right.
rest.
So hello, Blazer. That was a great race by you. Obviously, we
Oh,
not quite.
stressful.
Yeah. How do you feel after this race? Like you got the win, but was it a hard fought one, or were you just chilling?
It towards the end, I was really chilling. I did not have to push hard to stay with Loris. I could notice he was struggling on his tires, and I had better pace, so that was easy towards the end. But with me speeding on pit road, getting a penalty, that second safety car saved me, and then Bimpo obviously taking out Lamau helped.
Yeah, it was definitely was helpful for your race, and also that safety car where you served your penalty. Was it just was this penalty just a mistaken matrix, or do you deem it like unfair, or
Can you say it one more time?
do you think that the penalty was like unlucky, or was it just skill issue from your side, or
Definitely skill issue. I just
yeah,
was trying to lose as
game?
little time as possible.
Yeah, I get it. How you speed a lot? Like, was it like by a big margin or was it a small margin?
I I think it was a pretty small margin.
All right. Um, we saw you lifting the throttle on the straights on the last laps. That was a cheeky strategy, but it worked for you ultimately. I don't know if you were talking with your teammate Kateshi,
I
but
was.
if if you I was talking that if you could back up Loris a bit by fighting with him. You could have gotten 1-2, if you know what I'm saying. But I
Well,
was it
that was a
was
possibility. He was 4 seconds back. I really did not want to risk getting a penalty and
yeah,
having
yeah,
Loris shot. And Katachi was completely content with a P3.
yeah.
So he also thought it would be better just to have us hold our positions because he wasn't under threat by the Red Bull and I wasn't under threat by Loris.
So the idea was there, right? Like you had an there was an idea, right? Flying around.
Say one more time, sorry.
No problem. So you had that idea in your minds, right?
Oh, yeah, I had the idea of lifting down the straight to hear that behind. I had the idea of trying to. I did, I did think about backing up Loris, for a second, but yeah, it was too
Yeah,
risky.
too risky. You gotta protect your win. Well, that was a great race by you. I don't have any questions. Do you have anything to say to the millions of fans watching us on the stream right now?
Um, Nothing really. I'm just happy I just got my first win.
Oh, it's your first one. Congratulations, then. And
It only
hopefully
took
the one of many.
2 seasons and an off-season league to get it done.
Yeah, that was still really good. Congrats, man. And also, that was a really good drive for your car. Like McLaren is not the fastest car out there, and let's remember that it's a realistic performance league. So yeah, it was a really good effort by you. Congrats again, and see you next week, hopefully.
Yep.
See you. Should I move you back to the interview waiting room, or?
No, I'll just leave because I have something else to do right now.
All right. Cheers. See you.
Yep.
All right, Herman, wake up.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just muting myself because of
Yeah.
disturbance noises.
Do you want to interview the next person?
Yeah, let's go. Did you move them yourself?
Yeah, I moved them myself.
Okay.
I'll move Loris.
I'm moving those myself.
All right.
Laureus, welcome to the driver interview. You have been placed in second today. We had a lot of going on in the race, and we had a very strong fight at the end with a Blazer. Even though if you had the penalty, please let us know what are your first thoughts when you cross the line. How are you feeling right now?
Um, I mean, I'm feeling quite okay because I think now I will be leading the championship. Of course, without a penalty, it would have been much better and would have given me the win, or could have given me the win. But yeah, I think it was quite a clean race from my side, apart from the fact of that I got a penalty. And yeah, I can't say anything else apart from that. Blazer did a good job for winning the race.
We saw a very interesting pick from our pole position sitter in Bimpo. He decided to go onto the soft and later pit for a fresh set of medium tires. When his tires started to fall off, in your mind, was there possibility for you from switching from the medium hard to the medium soft strategy? Or was that strategy also planned out from the start and you were convinced you were going to do for this and just don't change it?
Yeah, I already wanted to do a medium hard because I've heard from other people that the softs would drop off a lot. And yeah, if I went for the medium and if I went for the hard, I had if there was safety car at the end of the race, I still would have got a fresh set of softs left. So I think medium hard would have been the best anyway for me.
We saw you pit when the window was open, but after that there was this Ferrari course safety car, let's say. Bimpo again chose to go for the soft. Did you not think to do that as well? Because there was some stage in the race, and adding to that the 2 laps of safety car or 3 we even had, to that the soft tire would have been a bit more preserved and could have maybe pushed you a little bit further ahead, maybe even pulling it the gap on Blazer. Did that thought occur in your mind, or were you just convinced the soft is just totally rubbish?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It was a bit of a 50-50, but for me, I just wanted to play it safe and go into the mediums, so I could be more competitive at the end of the race.
Okay. One more thing. In qualifying, you were third. It was very close between the top guys. Was there more on your lap, or were you satisfied with the result you put in?
Yeah, I don't know, none of my laps felt optimal. I don't really like the track in qualifying. For me, it just didn't suit me. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone on pole if it was a perfect lap. But at the end, I don't think it would have made a big difference for the race.
Yeah, we saw you struggle with your first runs as well. They were always like invalid, and you had to do a second one. Maybe something to look out for the next time. We will watch out for that. Thank you very much for your time. Let's move on to third place, Kateshi.
All right, bye.
Bye.
But
Okay, you want to do this again?
you can do it if you want.
Okay, then I will continue. Is he even there? Do you see him?
No,
Okay, then let's go with
I
Penny.
do not see him.
Okay, I go with Penny next.
Yep.
So, Penny, you were in third place when crossing the line. Unfortunately, Kateshi is not here, but you finished in fourth place. How are you feeling right now?
I feel phenomenal right now. I actually didn't realize I had so much pace in this track. Quali, I expected to go out in Q2, but I'm actually going to Q3 and set a pretty good lap. My final run lap was messed up. I was gonna go faster, but I messed it up. But then the race start went fine. I overtook both McLarens, but a game glitch happened where I was overtaking one of the McLarens and I got a track limit warning in a straight line. And while battling Limo, one of the AlphaTauri drivers, I got pushed a little bit wide and I got a second warning. So then, after the first safety car restart, I went a little bit wide in turn one and I got my 3-second time penalty. So hopefully, I might get that penalty removed since it got 2 warnings in racing incidents. So my third warning is I kind of got an unfair 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I see that.
So I can hopefully remove that and get a podium back. But overall, it was a really good race.
Yeah, we saw you making moves early on. I wanted to
Yeah.
pick your brain on the incident that occurred with Elias on lap 14. You just mentioned it being pushed wide. What was your initial reaction? Was it unfair? Was it hard racing? Would you like him to?
It was pure hard racing. He left the room, but it was just a little bit wide in turns
5.
Wait, are you talking the McLaren driver? The one that incident me in the McLaren driver had?
No,
Or are you
no,
talking
with
about
the AlphaTauri, Elias was a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a pure racing incident. And there's
Okay.
no way like it was he pushed me a little bit wide, but like it's respectable. It's hard racing, and my car went off the white line, so a little bit warning, but like it's fine. It's hard racing, and I liked it. It was a nice battle between me and him.
Okay. Let's focus on the strategy now. There was a moment in time where your teammate later, perhaps, and you yourself were a bit. You guys were out longer than the rest of the field. It seemed like it cost you a bit. The undercut was strong, although the tire warm up is kind of
Yeah,
ass
I
here.
messed up.
Was it a bit of a missed call there, maybe from your side?
I think it was a missed call by me. I went long for one extra lap, but that definitely did mess me up. I think I lost around a second and a half to the three drivers behind me because us four, I think it was me, two McLaren drivers, and an AlphaTauri that are having a really close battle.
Yeah.
But then when the pit stops came in, I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll go extra a lap later. But that did definitely cost me and my teammate. I lost a second and a half to the drivers, and yeah, then I had to make up ground once again. At the end, the McLaren driver ahead of me had way better pace, so I couldn't catch up to him. So I thought maybe a P3 would be enough.
Yeah. One more final thing, there was a safety car caused by the Ferraris. We just discussed how Bimpo, one of the only guys, went to the soft tire. We asked Loris, he didn't feel confident in the softs. What was the thought process behind that fresh medium for you? Just more confidence in that tire or just scared of the soft?
I softs for me, I'm just I feel like for me softs are never the good thing. My pace after the
Okay.
first two laps with softs is gone. So for me, softs is a no-go. Maybe for the last, like maybe last stint, for example, a safety car comes in. But in this situation, there was like 10 laps remaining, and I could have gone for the softs, but the softs would be dead after like 3 or 4 laps, and then after I'd be struggling for grip.
Okay.
So I
That's
thought
totally
the
understandable.
mediums would be the better option for me.
Okay, then thank you very much for your insight and have a good night.
You too, mate.
Thank you. Let's see. Next guy is Tim Blige. Is Giovinazzi's comment is something, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then I continue with that. Welcome to tonight's interviews, Tim Blige. Congratulations on your P5 after a very difficult and what must have been a very frustrating collision with your teammate. First things first, how are you feeling after this race? Hello?
He's dead.
He's dead. Are you there?
Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching.
I want to wait one more second. Maybe he's muted himself.
Hello.
Hello.
Tim Blige.
Maybe Federico Sir cut the line because he's so angry at them.
Yeah, could
Okay.
be. Yeah, he's not there.
He is not there. Okay, then move him out again. Okay, then I would say we had a long afternoon, very long night here today in LRC Realistic Performance. Round 2 from Portugal. Thank you very much to my co-commentator Ixe for commentating with me. I hope thank you. I hope you had a wonderful race with us tonight. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to vote on the driver of the day. The poll is in the chat. Follow this channel if you want to see more of this next time in 7 days time, same time as today. And I wish you a good night and a good start into the next week. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Cheers guys. Ciao.